Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our first Boyum webinar of the year. I'm delighted to be joined by Rosie, my regular partner in crime. I'm Alan Hughes. I'm the Solutions Director at Ascari, and we are very proud today to present Produce as a module from Boyum IT's Boyum Cloud family. Without further ado, I'll hand over to you, Rosie.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me again. I'm super excited to be part of your webinar series again. And yes, as Alan said, today we're going to talk about Produce. So what is Produce? It's really a shop floor management tool for you. So if you run your SAP Business One, you do your production orders, you run your MRP in your system, in your ERP system, but now you want to have a tool to handle your production orders, and you want to have full visibility what's going on the production floor, and that's where Produce comes in. So for me, it's a must-have for anybody who does production order, because you can get away from printing the production orders to scribble on them, on instructions whatsoever, because all of that you can automate. So with Produce, you have two different roles, okay? So you have the manager, that's one role. So the manager has a manager license because the manager does something else than the shop floor worker, okay? So the shop floor manager, they can sit in front of their computer, they have a nice dashboard, they know exactly who is working on what, okay? They want to manage their production orders, prioritize their production orders. They also want to see if they can release a production order, make sure the raw material is available, okay? So the pains right now is real-time shop floor functionality. And that's what I mentioned earlier, okay? So with this Produce, with this license, with this manager, Produce manager, he has full visibility, automatic prioritization, okay, sees what's going on the shop floor. And then you have the operator. What do they need to do? I'm going to start an operation. I want to start it. I want somebody to see it, that I started this operation that I'm working on, okay? So that what Produce does also, which is a different role. It's the operator, and they have a different license. Okay, so you have the manager, then you have the shop floor worker. So no more paperwork. They can read the instructions on their tablet because they see the operation. They know what all material is needed, and then they can start that operation. Okay. So here, just a little print screen, what it looks like. Here is the manager. You see right there, beautiful dashboard, knows exactly what's going on. And then you have the operators, you have terminals. Think about terminals. I'm coming to work. Okay, I'm going to start this operation, and the time is clicking, and then I register time and material. And very important for all of you, it's real time. You don't have to synchronize anything. As soon somebody puts in a production order, I can see it on the shop floor if it's released, and manager on the shop floor knows exactly what's going on. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump in here. Those are cloud apps from Boyum IT. Okay, those are apps you connect through a browser. You know, the world is going cloud-based, so you are connected to your database, and it's synchronized and it's real time. And today we talk about Produce. We do have different apps, which is Build, Inspect. Please contact Alan, your partner, if you want to see that. So let's talk about Produce. As I mentioned, we have different roles. We have the manager and we have the operator. Okay, so the manager, when the manager logs on, the first thing the manager sees is a dashboard, which I'm a totally fan of it. They know exactly how many approved production orders they have, how many are being worked on, how many are completed, partial completion, and so on. They see how many production orders they finished the past 7 days, and if they were on time or not on time. I apologize, mine were not on time. It's a demo database. They also see how many production orders are on high priority, medium, or low priority. And here, as I mentioned earlier, they see who is working on what production order. So I'm working on production order 298 and using resource 200, I can always drill back and do a detail view. I see that this is for this customer, this is the item. I have 3 operations, 3 steps to make this production order, and somebody is working on the first step. I'll come back to that. You can always drill back to 010 where I missed the start date. So you always have the function that you drill back. So this is the manager. I know what's going on. Then the manager goes in here and says, okay, I want to now work with the production order. What kind of production orders do I have? Okay. If it's based on a sales order, you would see which customer it is for. You see right here, you have priority settings. So you set the priority. You decide when do you want this, how do you want the system to calculate the priority. You can always say, I want to set my priority by due date. I want the system to look at the due date, and when it's 20 days out, set it to medium priorities. If it's 10 days out, change it to high priority. And that's what you see here. Okay. But you as the manager can say, you know what, this one, I'm going to switch it to low or medium priority. So you see that in any error here that has the frame, you change manually. And what's the beauty of it? You can always go in here and sort it by priority. So you have kind of planning tool. So the first thing you do is show me all the high priorities, and hey, I gotta make sure they are released or being worked on. Okay, so here you see the status, what's going on with the production order. So finalize means I can click in here and finalize it. That will close your production order in SAP Business One because it talks to SAP Business One. This one are being worked on. Something has been done to those. So you see this one has 3 operations, 3 route stages, and 2 were completed and the 3rd one has not been started. So it's in progress. Here I see if it's been released. So this one has been released, this has not been released. And what's the beauty of it? If it's not released, my shop floor workers cannot see it. They're not able to start working on it. So you really have a little rough planning tool here. Hey, I'm going to release it if I want to, because you know what? Before I release it, I always want to check if the material is available. How cool is this? You can take 2 of them, 3 of them, and then you have this feature here, material availability. That is huge. Many of our customers love that because you don't know if the material is there. And here the system checks and it will tell you if the material is available in the system. So you have a list of the material this production order needs. Maybe I don't have any. Let me try another one and see what's if it's in stock for you to start this production order. Okay. So the manager has all the tools, and then they can say, okay, you know what? I'm going to approve it so the operators can work on it. Okay. So now this is the manager, full visibility, sees, oh, this is being worked on. There was a partial stop. This is completed, this operation. And now let's go over to the operator. The operator has the operator, that's how they log on. I'm going to go out really quick. They just go in here. They have a tablet. Think about it. They have a tablet. You give him a number. The manager gives him a number. How to log on to this to the terminal. And then you see on top, you have my operations. You see only the ones I have touched already. Me as the operator. On the bottom, you see everything. And you also see that I do not see 299, for example, because it has not been released. Okay, so if you go here as the manager, I'm going to release it. And then it will show up on that screen. There we go. What you have also here, so I log in as the operator, and the operator is like, okay, I want to see everything. Look at 299. I have 3 operations. I want to see everything. But then you maybe say, I only want to see what it's ready to start. And you see it only goes back to 1 operation. That means it shows me only the first operation, the next operation to be working on. So it's a nice filter for the operator. But let's look at this. So I'm in here. I started working on this a while back, 47 hours ago. Planned quantity is 10, remaining is 10. So before I started, I was reading my instructions. That's what I was talking about earlier. You can read the instructions. And here's the material I need. It tells me this one is not required for me to book. That means it was issued ahead of time. You have a configuration. You can tell the system, hey, this certain material, there's certain material I always issue ahead of time. So the operator does not have to book it. And this one says it's required. So that means the operator, me as the worker, I have to post it. And it tells me this is a batch item and it suggests me a batch. So I'm working on this. Let's go to this one and I'm going to start this one. I'm going to start. There we go. And there it goes, the time. And if you go to the manager now and I go to the dashboards, you see now I'm working on 2 production orders and it's the same resource. So it makes sense. If I start another one, hopefully this is a different number. I'm going to start this one. And you see right here, if I refresh this dashboard, which does within a second, you see I'm working on 3 production orders. And now I'm using 2 different resources. It has a different resource. So full visibility for the shop floor. Okay, so but now let's go in here. Let's take this one and I'm going to say stop. And I'm going to say we only made 2. So I'm going to say more work is required. I could finish it, or I say more work is required. I'm going to say I made 2. Is there any scrap? I don't have scrap. So I'm going to say next. Yes, you can record scrap. I'm going to say next. This was my time. Expected time was 14 minutes. It took me 48 hours. Sorry, I had it running since yesterday. So I can change it because this resource is set to manual. If it's black flash, you cannot change it. Okay. I'm just going to leave it as it is because it's just for your presentation. I'm going to say next. So here are my 2 items. Now remember, it said first, not required. It tells the operator it's locked. Hey, this doesn't require booking. So the operator knows from the first screen when it started, the operator started knows it's not required because somebody issued it to me ahead of time, which the operator knows because he has it laying there. And then the operator knows she or he needs to post this one, this item. So it says it requires 6 and it suggests it as a batch, as it did on the first screen. But now maybe I go in here, I'm like, you know what? I did not use this batch. I actually used this one for whatever reason. And I used 7. Okay, so the flexibility is huge. You can issue ahead of time, you let the operator issue it, or you have backflash. That's another option. I'm gonna say next. At the end, the operator says, hey, resource time was this much. This is what was expected. You created 2 out of 10, so the operation is incomplete, which we said more work is required. And then here it says, hey, you have some material difference. You needed 7 out of 6. And absolutely, that's what I said. And then the operator says, yep, I'm finished with this operation. And you see, it went back to partial completed because I said more work is required. So if I go to the manager and I refresh the dashboard really quick, you see I'm working only on 2 operations because I just finished one, well, a partial completed one. So I'm not physically working on it. Okay, so that is Produce. Produce is shop floor. So you can fully manage your shop floor, your production orders. Okay, you can finalize it from here. You click finalize and then it closes it out. You have dashboard, you have a full production overview. You have transaction history report. If you ever run into something or you need to look up any of the production orders, you can always go in here. It tells you the duration, what was actually the resource type, the posting details. So you have a nice report here. And you also can say, hey, this operator is only certified for certain resources, for certain machines. Then you can actually set each operator for certain resources, and they only see operation for this resource. So the flexibility is really big, and the operator's best thing is to do tablets. They go in here, start, then stop the operation, and they're ready to go. And it posts back to SAP, depending how you have it set up. Backflash, manual, and so on. So it posts back to SAP right away. It's real time. You do not have to synchronize anything. Okay, so that's our Produce solution. Okay, our app Produce, as I said, we also have build, that's product management. We also have quality control for your SAP Business One. If you want to see that, I'm sure Alan has some webinars coming up on those, but if you want to see it earlier, please contact Alan.
We always do. Yeah, we always
Oh,
do, Rosie.
yes.
It's the lovely thing about Boyum Cloud is it just continues along the path of one version of the truth. That one database in SAP is the source of truth for all your management decisions, all your reporting. This just introduces SAP into the shop floor where it wasn't before, and produces is increasingly popular, isn't it, Rosie?
Yes. It's amazing, yeah. People, because they want a terminal, they want to automate their shop floor activities and have full visibility. That's the big part, right?
Absolutely, and in having visibility at a competitively priced solution, which is based on a rental model over 3 years, it really does make all the difference in the world, and it just gives you more control of your shop floor, where many manufacturers don't have as much control as they'd like. This certainly introduces a lot more, and it helps businesses become leaner, more efficient, and ultimately more profitable.
Absolutely, totally agree with you. Well, that was it on my side today, Alan.
No, thank you very much, Rosie. It's short and sweet, but it's to the point, shows what it is capable of and what the art of the possible is. If anyone has any questions, by all means, please come back to us at Ascari. We're very happy to help. Ascari were the very first partner in the world to actually sell Boyum Cloud a couple of years ago now. So it's definitely one of our strengths in our portfolio and one we recommend to anyone with any manufacturing requirement. So thanks very much for your attendance, and hope to hear from you and speak with you again in the future. Thanks again.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much. Bye-bye.